What is up, everyone, and welcome to another monthly episode of the Daily Prophetcast. Once again, I am your host, Matt Thomas, and I'm joined by my man, Amaru Moses, and we're here to talk to you about the world of Harry Potter, which we all love so dearly if you're watching this, and also at the same time, fuck J.K. Rowling. So, with that, as always, please remember that we do encourage you to donate or take donations for advocates for trans equality. So be sure to send some money there or send it to us via the StreamYard link or Streamlabs link up in that top corner, and we'll make sure it gets there. But yeah, it's been a while. The holidays passed. We just kind of getting back in the swing of things. Rue, how was your holidays?
Good. I got to relax a lot. Watched a lot of
TK?
Yes, I watched a lot of not Harry Potter related stuff. Caught up. I've never watched, but watched the Conjuring universe, which is actually a pretty good franchise. And yeah, so I chilled out. I'm back at work, back to being busy, back to being professionally tired.
Well, to be fair, no one's saying the Conjuring universe isn't good films, but it's horror, so some of us black folks don't fuck with it. That'd be me, and formerly him. I can understand that. I had a good holiday. I do have a question for you because I don't. What season do you associate Harry Potter films with? Because I know some people associate them with Halloween. Some people do associate them with like the Christmas season because a lot of them came out post Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving, leading into the Christmas season. And some just associate them with a summer adventure. So for you as a fan, what do you associate them with?
I've never associated them with a season, but if I had to, I guess Christmas was the first thing that popped up because they usually have Christmas scenes and parts of each of the movie. So no, each movie has a very distinct Christmas part to them. So I guess that one, but I've never really associated them with seasons.
I know some people have, so that's why I was curious. It's kind of always been more like the summer adventure to me personally, and then I'll watch them if I go to a friend's house and like, yeah, I'm putting on Harry Potter for Halloween time or Christmas. It's like, all right, cool. I just watch it whenever. But typically I'll do my rewatch middle of the summer, get a little adventure because I guess for me the lasting impact was watching them the last movie in middle of July with friends at midnight, even though I'd already seen it. That local theater from this area that you remember that is now gone, saw it midnight there with friends.
Nice.
But I'd already seen it in my critic's script. I wasn't a critic back then, but my dad still was, and I saw it with him back then, and that was a very memorable experience. But no, I kind of had a Harry Potter Christmas. My few gifts, because I'm at that age where it's like, here's a couple portraits, move along the way. My mother got me the Harry Potter shop website, so like the official Harry Potter store sells platform 9 3/4 replica tickets. So she got me one of those. She got me this really nice butterbeer mug that they sell on that same website. And I took those along with the personalized Hogwarts letter I got a few years ago for Christmas. And I kind of made, I sent you the picture, and I kind of made that display where it's just like my Hogwarts story almost. So that was nice. Otherwise, that was it. And I did a little bit of redecorating in the house, move some of the Harry Potter stuff to the living room, just make it feel more like me again. So reclaiming it little by little. But with that being said, we got a few things in Harry Potter news to cover before we get into today's big story, discussion. Who should play Lord Voldemort going into the Harry Potter HBO series? But before we get into that fun discussion, just a couple quick things. One, and I'm just going to speak on this because I know Rue is not and just hasn't, or reverse that, has not and has no plans to listen to the Harry Potter full cast editions. I might get them to one day. I might get them to, but it would have to be like summer break, and even then, that's a slim shot. But this past Tuesday, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the full cast edition, came out, and bittersweet for me because I've enjoyed the young voice cast in it. Freddie Treadway, uh, Arabella Stanton, who is the HBO series Hermione, and I'm forgetting the young actor who's played Ron. This is their last book because they're changing the voice cast for those three characters, and I should say all the kids for part two. All the kids outside Fred and George and Percy, and the older Weasleys. Uh, but I sent Rue a message last night as I was listening, and I know he got a kick out of it. But it is so weird hearing Ramsay Bolton as Professor Lupin, who is arguably one of my favorite Harry Potter characters. Just my brain is having issues computing the fact that this voice that I know and absolutely hate because he did such a phenomenal job as an actor in Game of Thrones is now like this caring father-like figure and a character that means so much to me. And I'm just like, this isn't computing. It was easy for me to pick up on Kit Harington as Gilderoy Lockhart because he was just so swarmy and annoying as Lockhart. That if I'm gonna be honest, HBO have him dye his hair, bring him in for Harry Potter. Harry Potter season 2 is Gilderoy because like man is perfect. But yeah, just it's so weird because I'm like, I know this actor. I like this actor. I hate the characters he's played to the point where I have issues seeing him as anything but a villain. And here he is as one of my favorite characters in all of literature. And I'm just like, I'm so torn. I feel broken.
It's weird. Yeah, I was gonna say it's hearing his voice and immediately having the reaction of "fuck this dude."
Yes.
For Lupin, which is again the best, one of the, if not the best character in the whole series. Yeah, it's
most innocent for sure. Most innocent for sure.
Yeah, whiplash like crazy.
So it throws me for a loop, man. I'll tell you, and it's part of the reason that I will fight tooth and nail to get you to listen to at least one of these fucking things, just one.
Sure. That's a no.
I know. Sure. I know it is. I know it is. I know you too well. All right. So with that, let's get on to the two stories that we have for this upcoming episode, and that is the first being Warwick Davis ended up talking about what it's like on the new Harry Potter HBO series set, and kind of quickly compared it to the original series. Warwick Davis talked to Times Radio about the Harry Potter TV series. I'm working on it at the moment, but I can't really tell you anything other than we're retelling those wonderful stories, but with more depth and detail than has ever been seen before. They're faithful adaptations of the books. We're obviously telling the same story, so there's going to be those similar moments we're experiencing as actors on set, but it's weird being back in the same studio again, doing it all again, because Leavesden is where we shot the films. Real quick, I love how he's like, yeah, it's re-experiencing it for all of us actors on set. Man, you are the only one who was in the cast as that we know of that was involved with the first films. So yeah. So what other actors are you talking about?
Did he slightly give it away that there's some surprise returns?
Maybe.
Or he said actors and he meant crew. Maybe some of the crew is back because it is Leavesden Studios again. So I do, again, his sentiment is basically my sentiment, where it's really nice to go look at some things and find some things with more detail in the book that weren't in the movies. But at the same time, I'm watching the same stuff I've watched a bunch. So it's like, I hope the detail and the depth is enough to keep me hooked into what I know, in the things that I know exactly what's going to happen. And it's definitely going to be, they got to get through the first couple of books. No, specifically, they got to get through the first two. because the first two did a pretty good job of
Yes.
covering the books because they're so small. So it's going to be a lot of similarities. It's not until Prisoner of Azkaban where you start to see different
Massive
aspects
differences.
of plot and story that you did not get in the films.
Like completely cutting out the fact that Crookshanks is a
major player.
Major player. And then that kind of being our little introduction to the fact that some of these animals have somewhat magical abilities. Like we know that owls can know where to go, like magically find a person wherever they are in the world, so on and so forth. But like it showed us that beyond the owls, they all have some sort of small magical capability. And I mean, it's granted, I'm in the middle of listening to the third book for the second time in a 6-month span because I listened to all of them leading up to the series coming out, and now I'm re-listening to them in this full cast audio edition. But no, I am just very excited because we've shown the pictures that have leaked. Granted, I'm pretty sure at this point in time they're probably, for the most part, all indoors now because there have been very few leaks from set over the last 2 months. We had those costume leaks that we shared last episode, but otherwise, we haven't really seen anything. So I'm pretty sure it is slowed down and they are filming inside, which sucks. But at the same time, from what we're being told, we're roughly a year away from this because we were told first quarter of 2027 is when they're aiming to release that. So hopefully by the end of the year, we start to get more official looks, I guess is the way to put it.
Probably, yeah, more official, actual like official looks.
So my question to you is, what are you hoping to see from those official looks?
Excitement of stuff that like it's not going to be called originality, but just a feeling that I haven't seen stuff before. So like they're Nick Frost not looking like Robbie Coltrane, but still looking like Hagrid. I want it to look like some version of new or something exciting to get me to completely latch on. Like there's no way I'm not watching this. But it's still the sentiment of you need to give me a reason to want to look forward to watching it. Want to look forward to watching it, and I need something new. So
I will agree with you there, and I do need to say this. Man, I loved that Nick Frost interview, or that Nick Frost casting, I should say. However, the more I've listened to these audiobooks, the more I would have loved to see Mark Addy play Hagrid because he is
he's been great.
He's absolutely killing it in the audiobooks. And I guess now my fear with Nick Frost is he starts to bring some of those Nick Frost isms into the character that aren't really there. You know what I mean? Where he goes overly silly or overly stupid. And like, granted, it works for a lot of his roles, but I think this is the first time where I don't know. I'm wondering if is his voice going to be deep enough because he's got naturally a higher voice, and it's going to be weird coming out of like a 7-foot giant.
I cannot remember what movie it is or what portions of the movie it is, but I actually don't worry about Frost. I've seen roles from him where he hasn't gone to the silliness, where he's had to be more serious. And Hagrid's not that serious. So I think the mix, and when I say that serious, I don't mean like he has to be fully dramatic. He's a adult, not disabled version of Tyson from Percy Jackson. So like that same kind of nuance I've seen Nick Frost do. So yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Fair enough. Well, there's a third story. I almost forgot because I had you watch this video. My mind got so focused on the 2 stories connected to the HBO. So we're going to break the HBO connection real quick and go to the SNL connection real quick because last night Finn Wolfhard hosted SNL, and I haven't watched Heated Rivalry yet. I don't know if you have.
I have not.
But They did a parody episode, a parody skit called Wizard Rivalry.
Heated wizardry.
Heated
Heated
Wizardry. Thank you.
wizardry.
Heated Wizardry. Thank you. It was just,
Yeah.
I watched the video once. I was laughing my ass off. Don't get me wrong. That was hilarious. Just I forget the actor's name who was being Ron. He's in Please Don't Destroy. But I was dying laughing. It was absolutely hilarious. 3 minutes of pure physical comedy and just Finn Wolfhard and the member of Please Don't Destroy just absolutely killing it with some of their jokes and a few cameos that you did not expect. And
one specific one that is pitch perfect in the delivery and
yes,
the hilariousness. It was
yes.
great. It was great. That person.
And I love how they ended
no
it with
fucks.
that. I love how they ended it with that. I'm like, how did they get that person? Because they had nothing else to do with the episode. Was that person just in New York at the time? And they were like, hey, do you want to come be this kind of sexy version of this character?
Well, that guy is down to do anything at any point at any time. So when I saw him, I was like, of course it's him, because he does these things.
I agree. He's one of the reasons he's one of my favorite actors working today. But again, just still a semi shock to the system. Like, oh, okay.
Ben Marshall, by the way.
Ben Marshall, thank you. There's 3 members, so I always get their names just confused. But yeah, that was a great skit.
And yeah, you do not need to know what Heated Rivalry is. You just need to know the basic premise that it is the world's favorite homosexual drama out right now. And it's very sexy and it's very unabashed, apparently. And I haven't seen a scene of it, but I've seen enough social media to know, yay, you're giving people their due on shows that they need. And the skit itself did not shy away from it. And it is, haven't seen a second of it, and it was very funny.
So just like literally, I was playing Fortnite the other day with some friends, and the one goes, he's like, "Yeah, it's a great show." He's like, "I love seeing the simulated head." I'm like, "Yo," I'm like, this just sounds like a very horny show, and I love how it's an HBO series, and the skit was talking about like no one cares about the shitty writing. We rushed this, but I'm like, is that something you're warning me about this show? Because like. They're like, yeah, it's just an overly sexual show.
When you get like popcorn messiness, trashiness in any way, the writing doesn't have to be great. Hence, how popular His and Hers is on Netflix right now with The Punisher and Valkyrie. The writing is okay, the story is okay, but the messiness and the like, I am eating the shit up of it all, and the twists, people love it. I loved it. You can forgive it when it's just like, yeah, I'm in on this, and you like the characters. So yeah,
I'm still on a Netflix pause for the time being, outside of Stranger Things, which I needed to watch for covering stuff. I ever since the decision has been made, I've made a conscious effort to not touch Netflix.
Do you, sir? Do you?
And I will get to it and get to stuff eventually. But I'll probably do it when there's nothing on TV in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I go watch that skit on SNL. It is absolutely a blast. And you will not regret it. But let's talk about the biggest news to come out of this Harry Potter series this week, and that is Hans Zimmer is coming on to compose the score for the new Harry Potter series, along with, I forget what their names are, Tara Taub and Hans Rosman, which they have, that duo has an actual like group name called like Bloody Fingers or Bloody Organs or something like that. But overall, Rue, I'm gonna let you start. How are you feeling about this Hans Zimmer news?
Are you talking about Bloody Hammers?
Thank you. I knew it was something.
Wait, no, it can't be because this is completely different than what I'm looking up. AI did not do me well. Sometimes Google does. Sometimes Google does not.
I'm going to
It's definitely not Bloody Hammers.
I'm going
Definitely
to
not
the
Bloody Hammers.
I'm going to the Harry Potter wiki post, or not wiki post, but Harry Potter.
Basically, I was going with this. If you were going to not have the
bleeding fingers, it's bleeding
Thank
fingers. So I was close to bloody fingers. It's bleeding fingers.
If you're going to replace a goat, you need to replace a goat with a goat, and Hans Zimmer is a goat. So I am again very excited to see what he comes up with, because no way you're just redoing that iconic score. And I also think you have little flourishes of it somewhere, but you gotta set it apart. So I'm wondering if he's gonna pay homage and like recontextualize Hedwig's theme and so on, or if he's just gonna do his own new thing and then just have very, very tiny like callbacks. So I'm excited. I'm actually excited about that news. Except that Hans is a goat, and like I think the only person right now who would have got me more excited than that, because I don't want John Williams to have to come out of his 90-something-year-old, whatever he wants to do, he's going to do, but not old things, retirement / not retirement, would have been Ludwig. If it had been Ludwig, that was the only one I would have been a little bit even more excited.
So here, Hans Zimmer did put out a statement with bleeding fingers when this was announced, which says, the musical legacy of Harry Potter is a touch point for composers everywhere, and we are humbled to join such a remarkable team on a project of this magnitude. The responsibility is something that myself, Carter Talv, and Hans Brosman do not take lightly. Magic is all around us, often just beyond reach, as in the world of Harry Potter. You must simply look for it. With this score, we hope to bring audiences that little bit closer to it whilst honoring what has come before.
Like I said, gotta replace the goat with a goat, and he's gonna do that.
I agree. I know some people who are like, hey, we don't need this series, so why are we even wasting our time getting someone like Hans Zimmer? And I'm just like, just because you don't need this series doesn't mean that everybody feels this way. I don't know how many Harry Potter Facebook groups you're on Facebook, but I've seen over the years, and I'm not saying it's everyone, but I've seen like a growing thing because remember when the movies were first coming out, there wasn't really a lot of people like, oh, the books are better, this, that, and the other. But now it seems like as we get further and further away from the films, you're hearing people say it more often. When they're like, I kind of just started going back to reading the books or listening to the audiobooks rather than watching the films, because I'm missing key elements in the stories that I care about. So then tying this all back to Warwick's statement, so far, these look like they're going to be more outside of book 1 and 2, because those were like pitch perfect faithful. But once you get to book 3, these look like they're going to be much, much more faithful adaptations of the series. And for me personally, I am looking forward to that, because it's what made me fall. Some of the stuff that got cut out over the years is what made me fall in love with this series. I do love the fact that Harry gets more time with Sirius, so you feel that death a little bit more. I do love Harry getting moments like putting Lupin in his place in book 7 and showing how just amazing he is as a just genuine person. I do love moments like in The Prisoner of Azkaban, where the movie, he just essentially has one lesson with Lupin and gets it off rip. in the book, there's numerous lessons and practicings of the Patronus charm before he really, really gets it.
I really love the actual Quidditch World Cup.
And I really love Quidditch being an important thing to students at a school and being
every single year.
And even the year we don't have Quidditch in school, or the 2 years we don't have Quidditch in school, the one that takes place at school, you have kids complaining about the fact that, yeah, this tournament's cool and all, but I'd rather have Quidditch right now, which is a normal thing to do. I love seeing Harry having to make the hard choices of who should he have on the Quidditch team. Like, there are levels that and deepness to these characters that we are missing. And also, the biggest travesty to me is I miss Ginny Weasley the badass, because that's not who we got. And I say that knowing full well I haven't a chance to possibly interview Bonnie Wright in 2 months. Well, actually, almost 2 months today. But her version of Ginny got done dirty.
A little bit.
A little bit.
No, there were aspects of how great of a wizard she is, but
Yes.
only small little aspects.
So, AKA Order of the Phoenix. After that, it's
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, this is how well I know the movie. I can think of all the aspects you're talking about, and I'm like, but they all happen in one. But like I'll say this: they nailed how much of a smartass she is to her siblings. But like, there's just so many levels and whatnot, characters that are missing, and story elements that are missing, that there's a reason to be excited for a re-exploration of this series. And the fact that at minimum it's going to be an 8-hour exploration instead of a 2.5 hour or 2 to 2.5 hour exploration is incredible. So
that's why I'm watching it.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching it. Like, it's why we're watching it. Like, it is what it is. But I still can't wait to explore it more. And with that, let's have this conversation, because we've had some of these topics planned over the months that we've been doing this. I'm like, all right, we'll get to this one eventually, or get to this one. Like I know I have to talk to Nick, but I think I know what our next episode is, and it's the one where he comes on, and it's going to be a nice big old debate. Where I'm on one side, Rue's like in the middle, and Nick is on the exact opposite side. And that's probably what the episode's going to be, where Rue's going to be like, let me play devil's advocate real quick on both sides. Am I wrong, Rue?
I mean, it depends on what's said. I'll tell you now, I don't agree with a lot of Nick's takes a lot of the time. And I know y'all don't know who we're talking about unless you're in this community, but whatever. It's a good dude. But
he's a really good dude.
His takes be trash. His takes be very trash sometimes. Your takes also be trash because you don't be thinking. You just say shit. So it'll just
I think, but sometimes my mouth is quicker than my head.
Exactly. So it's just going to be a lot of me telling both of y'all, no. We'll see.
I don't think in this case, but no. Let's talk about who should play Lord Voldemort heading into this this rebooted series of Harry Potter. Rue, you have the floor, sir.
So over the last couple of months, as we were talking about this and not knowing when we were going to have the discussion, it was really difficult for me to actually pick somebody or give options of somebody who I was like, yep, this exact person should be it. Honestly, my choice is you should get an actor nobody really knows. You should just straight up somebody that isn't a big name. Maybe you've seen them in a small role. You'd never think about it. Just fresh slate. That's what should be done for Voldemort, I think, because like I could pick people for some of the other roles, other characters. Like I don't remember if I ever did, but if I would have heard Mark Addy, I would have been like, that's it. That's Hagrid. Mark Addy is Hagrid. Point blank period. Done. And I could do some for other, but Voldemort, I think Ray Fiennes is hard to top. So I'm going to start not with my ultimate pick, but with two choices that I looked up. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not too mad at that. And I'll be honest, I just one of those two names just dropped out of my head, so I'll just give you the one that I saw, and then I'll try to think of the other one. But I like the look and the outright feel of Damian Lewis. From that show with Claire Danes.
I know you're talking about. I know him as the assassin from the Storm Rider movie. But yes, he's in Billions. He's an interesting choice.
I just think he has an aura about him of like just nefariousness. Gotta cut the hair. Gotta keep the red hair out of there as much as possible. Of course, Voldemort doesn't have any hair in general. But again, I think he has a aura about him. He has a presence about him that he walks on scene. And if he's not playing a good guy, you're looking at him like, but what kind of nefarious crap did you do to get this good guy role? Like, you're not scared to do some shit. So as a straight up personification of evil and corruption, I think he has the aura for it. I'm going to let you go to somebody for you as I remember my other choice before telling you my ultimate choice.
So I have three, and I'm going to name two here because one of them is one I don't agree with, but I get the sentiment, but I also know this actor will never do the part. And it's the one that everybody has said that they wanted, Cillian Murphy. Without a doubt, I understand that. I think after becoming an award-winning Oscar winner, I think that this might be above him. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a great actor.
You mean below him?
But thank you, I'm tired. Below him, but I think he's a great actor. And I do think he would do well in the role, but I also think he's made it clear, like, I don't want to kind of step and try to fill Ray Fiennes' shoes because who would want to do that? Which is, if you've seen 28 Years Later, Bone Temple, you can, along with so many other films Ray Fiennes has done, you can definitely
that in an hour.
And then my other choice is someone who's currently playing Voldemort in a voice role, but he has HBO connections, and he is someone who I love that he's done the high-pitched, creepy voice with it, and that's Matthew McFadden, who was Tom. Yeah. Who was Tom in why am I forgetting? Succession, and who ultimately ends up winning Succession. And I love him as an actor, and he's blown me away with what he's done with Voldemort so far, and I absolutely love and adore just having him as the character. But he's not my top choice, and my top choice is. And I'll let Ruth say his first, but I'll just say this. My top choice is someone who has been in Harry Potter films in the past. So
I can't 100% remember if this is the other person I saw and was like, maybe, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Matt Smith. He would be my only, but again, only for looks, though.
I hate how he looks. I hate how he sounds. I hate how he acts. If people know me, there's one person I hate in Hollywood. It is Matt Smith.
I think the look is there for him. It's snake-like. It's weird. He's the bottom of my list of maybes. Like Cillian Murphy, Benedict Cumberbatch, all those big name actors. Of course, I would be excited for them to play, but I would like, okay, whatever, move on. I'm not with you where I think they're above it. I just think you don't need like the A-list popular Oscar winners. Because Cillian Murphy, as much as a not popular he is, he's in every Nolan movie. Everybody knows who Cillian Murphy is, even before Oppenheimer. They knew who he was. He was also kind of popular. So Benedict Cumberbatch is extremely popular. Tom Hiddleston is extremely popular. Matt Smith is known, and he has the look, but I'm with you. The one thing he'd have to change...
He's popular,
but he's not.
sadly.
He's not Cillian Murphy popular. He's not even
No,
on
but
anywhere near that level.
in geek circles, which is what you have to factor in, because of his time as Doctor Who, he is worldwide popular and known.
I take that back. I am not a Doctor Who watcher, so
Neither am I.
I forgot
Neither
about
am I.
Doctor Who.
But
so sure, yeah. You have a point there. You do have a point. But I was gonna say I agree. He would need to do a better job of what you just mentioned. You hope Nick Frost doesn't do. He needs to go away from his usual slight silliness, slight like nasally voice, and go darker. Which I think he can go dark, but he has to go dark in a different way. You want me to reveal my very, very different, very, very might be like, what the fuck are you talking about to some people? But if you really pay attention. All right. So my actual choice completely and utterly destroys my whole idea of like, you can't be a popular pick. This person's a popular pick. But they just know how to step into every single nefarious role they are. And you know what? If you were mad that a black person is Snape, you can kick rocks about who I'm about to say, because this person has already played androgynous. You don't know if they are a man or a woman or not, but they play a man, and that is fucking Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton would destroy this role. She would absolutely kill it, and she plays androgynous enough that she can play a man, not a man. You don't got to mention it. Whatever it is, she is such a great actress that you do not have to. You go Gabriel and Constantine. They just say Gabriel, and you could go He Who Must Not Be Named. It doesn't matter. Tilda Swinton is one of the best actors out there for weird and spooky and scary and nefarious and wicked but connecting to them. So at the end of the day, Tilda Swinton is my choice. I think she would be the one who would absolutely be a top-notch Voldemort.
All right. My top choice, while he's become known in circles for a series he's done recently over the last few years, and is a former Harry Potter cast member, this man has proven over the last however many years he is sinister, he is dark, and he would absolutely, and he has the right look on top of it, and he'd absolutely murder this role. Do you have any guesses on the room?
Ray Fiennes.
Jamie Campbell Bowers.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he definitely also without a question.
You just saw it with Vecna, but this man would absolutely, and his voice is already where you'd kind of want it to be. And like, think of this past season. Imagine just him using the Mr. What's-It voice he had. It was creepy. It was chilling. But you could see why it would charm people for him to feel a certain way or join his fight. So I would absolutely love to see Jamie Campbell Bower take on this role. I mean,
I would wonder if he gets tired of playing these kind of roles, or if he just absolutely loves these kind of roles.
So did you watch the Stranger Things documentary?
No, I did not.
This man, and what sold me on it was, I was watching it and they were getting to his part, and just seeing how he attacked this role, like, hey, and worked so collaboratively. Hey, I'm thinking he does this because of this, and just how he talked to the Duffers, because he was embracing how dark this character is. And let's be honest and be fair. I think he's one of those actors who's like, you know what? If being the big bad gets me where I need to go in life, I'm gonna be the big bad. And I mean, he's around the right age. He's about to be 40. So, but you can age them up. I mean, I know Ru and I said one of the things we're looking forward to are age appropriate actors and actresses in these roles.
But he also looks like he could play like young adult.
Yeah.
He could pull off teenager or old teenager as well. He still has a young looking face. I will also say he looks a lot like Frank Delane. He looks like the dude who played the young version of Voldemort in and Half-Blood Prince as well. So it's the same kind of.
Look at this from the documentary. And yes, it's like the bald. They covered his look, but just has the definition, the angles in his face. I just think you combine that with his talent, and he's just got everything you need.
That is a top-notch. That is a top-notch choice, 100%. Like he's done that from Twilight to playing Gilligan Grindelwald in this to Vecna to shit. Even I don't remember dude's name, but Mortal Instruments. Like Jace. He played Jace in Mortal Instruments as the good guy, still kind of charming, but you don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he would also be a perfect person to play Tom Riddle, 100%.
I mean, yeah, you could probably get away with it. I'm not gonna lie. Though I will say I do want the kid from Adolescence to be the 15-year-old Tom Riddle. Just putting that out there. That's if we're gonna talk about Voldemort casting, like he's gonna be the perfect age right around the time they're shooting season 2 also, because he's shit. What's the actor's name? Because I remember as soon as I saw him and he won for Adolescence last year. Was it Owen Cooper?
Yes.
Yeah, Owen Cooper. He is
16.
16 right now. So, hey, if they're going right into filming season 2 after this, he will still be 16 if you just knock out his portions. 16 are going on 17. So I'm just saying, like, homeboy's got the look. But yeah, I just absolutely those are that Jamie Kimmel Bowers has quickly become, especially even though I didn't like season 5 of Stranger Things that much, I loved him in it. Quickly became my top choice for Voldemort.
Yeah, I have no qualms with that. None whatsoever.
I figured you'd be right.
He fits. He perfectly fits that role. And again, as popular as he is, there are people who do not know his name.
Yeah.
Like they would not know if I said Jamie Campbell Bower, you'd be like, I don't know who that is, and then you'd be
say Vecna, and you're like, oh yeah, this could be the project that propels him to being a known name if you were to join it. So
I'm with you. And you know what? He might actually make the biggest part of the book series that I could not stand, and it was the most boring of it all. Going into the Riddle family history and Half-Blood Prince.
You don't like that?
The Gaunts. Every time I read,
I love that.
Oh my gosh, bro! Every time I got
that's part
6.
of the reason Half-Blood Prince is my least favorite Harry Potter movie, is because they cut out the exploration and the slight attempt to somewhat humanize Voldemort.
It's so boring, though. I'm just like, let's go. I don't care about this. Let's go. Let's go. I couldn't stand it. Like, every time they went back to the Gaunts,
I was sucked in and enthralled, bro. Like
when I read it.
Well, here. Let me put it. I can't stand the stuff that doesn't involve the young Voldemort. I will give you that. But as soon as you insert the young Voldemort, like Tom going to...
that's what I'm saying, the history.
Oh,
I don't like the Gaunts. The Gaunts. So, like, getting him, like, bringing him in and not spending too long and those interact... Like, that, I don't know. That stuff just did not... I always, every time I read it, I was like, I need to get past this chapter. I want to get past this chapter. It is necessary, and it is good. It is good, and it helps with the story. But I don't want it. Just go away. Hurry up. Get back to Tom Riddle in present day, please.
Damn, Rue. Damn. Now I know. So I will say, when it comes to casting, I do know. I touched on this a little bit, but I didn't get the full details. Technically, This is something we haven't brought up Hagrid either. Technically, Voldemort should be like a man in like his 60s. If you want to be real, and so should Hagrid if you want to be realistic about it,
He should
because
be,
the
they should
Chamber
be
Secrets,
slightly,
they should be like 63 to 65-ish.
they should be a couple of generations younger than Dumbledore.
Yes.
Even though Dumbledore is the oldest person
Well,
in his
because
generation
it
ever,
was
because nobody knows how old that man is.
the Chamber Secrets. The Chamber Secrets opened 50 years in the past, and that was in the early 90s. So we're looking at the 40s. So factoring that in, if it's open 50 years in the past when book 2 is going on, that means Hagrid is at least 63, 64, and Tom was 15, I think, when the chamber
65.
Yeah, so he should be 65. So like, if I'm looking at age, yes, Cillian Murphy and Jamie Campbell Bowers would be my pick. However, my personal belief is an actor in their 40s or 50s gets away with it because you can say with the magic of bringing Voldemort back that he was brought back at what he looked like when he was first vanquished 14 years prior. Logically speaking.
Yeah.
Because that was always my logic. I told myself when we got Ray Fiennes, because I'm like, I know simple math. If he was a teenager in the chamber, he's got to be in the 60s. But I'm okay with going younger for a role. But at the same time, I know we've been over here like, yes, give us age-appropriate characters. Give us an early to mid-30s Lupin. Give us an early mid-30s Snape, which we got.
Well, you were more on that than I was. I was only on that. I was only on that with the children. The children got to be children. You got to deal with the puberty and stuff because you see how Walker Scobell went from a 10-year-old to a 25-year-old from season 1 to season 2 of Percy Jackson. But he kills it anyway. But I have grown up with enough, and I know we're not talking about Black people except Snape, but I've grown up with enough Black people like I can't remember his first name. Oh my gosh, Richard from Coach Carter, who has been playing a teenager for 40 years. And he gets away with it every day. And Antoine Tanner as well. Both of them, Robert Richard, they have been playing teenagers and 20-year-olds for 50 years straight. And you never question it because they still look 19 years old. So, like, I can deal with the age of adults being altered as long as you play well and you look close enough. For me, it's the kids who need to be a little bit more kid age.
Listen, I can't believe I'm saying this. Give me Ramsay Bolton as Lupin. I hate saying that.
It would throw some stuff off. It'd be hilarious.
You'd finally get to see what I'm talking about in real time. But man,
I won Rion. I won Rion.
I won Rion. I was about to look up his name. I also didn't want to just massacre his name.
I was trying to think about the joke pronunciation that Baby Carrots Mark Ellis would always call him, but I can't remember it. So,
all right. Now we are finished talking Harry Potter, but this wouldn't be the Prophetcast while a certain television series is going on if I didn't let Rue and myself wax poetic about Percy Jackson and the Olympians as we head into the finale. Rue, how you feeling since we last talked?
I was talking about this with some people yesterday. I didn't realize the viewership had like plummeted relatively.
Yeah.
But again, they have season 3, so it doesn't matter. And apparently Disney Plus's like viewership is plummeting in general.
Yeah. It is.
And it's just what they're doing. So if it's relative to Disney Plus, it's fine. Season 3 is going. There's
already talks that they're looking at season 4, so I wouldn't worry about it.
But I have a weird dynamic that, based off of all I say, I'm still loving this season, and I'm loving it ultimately more than last season. But it is a show going through growing pains, but good growing pains.
Yes.
Because last season I loved, and I'm going to set it up with this right now. unless the finale does something that blows my mind. I gave season 1 4 stars out of 5, 4 reels out of 5, because I'm on bite-sized breakdown. And I'm going to stick with giving this one 3.5. But a 3.5 for season 2 is a higher than a 4-star for season 1. Because season 1 is strictly children's television with capsule episodes of mission of the week. One mission, then the second mission, then the third mission, then the fourth, and then 7 and 8 were 2 episodes that kind of put everything together. Which is taken into consideration. It is a children's television show. They're really young. It's a children's story. This will always be a children's story, so it's not going to be as deep as like the later Harry Potters or anything. Yeah. I loved it. There are flaws with this second season that I actually really enjoy watching because it is some of the front and center is the acting of the young adults. Like they still are going through it, but the reason is because they're actually given full-fleshed arcs and stories. So it's not, and so you see, because they're given so much more to do. I love that they're given so much more to do. So you see them growing into their chemistry. You see them growing into their scenes.
I will say that about every young actor on that series besides Walker, because Walker fucking nails almost every. Like there are times where I'm like, aren't you only 16? Like
yeah, but you can see the growth in every single one of them. Yeah, Dior is much better in 7 than she was in 1. Yes. Oh my God, Leah is actually probably the most consistent, where I don't ever think she was really bad. I think she was a young actress who's really good, and she's consistently just steadily going higher and higher. Yeah. What's the actor who plays Luke? Because I don't know.
Hold up, I got you.
I also think he's almost up there with Walker as well. It's just some of the writing brings it, like
Charlie Bushnell.
Yeah, some of the writing brings it back. And that's the other thing. Some of the writing brings everything slightly down because, again, it is a children's story with children's television. So the writing will not be that deep. And secondly, Sea of Monsters is, anecdotally, if I'm not wrong, Sea of Monsters is one of the least cared about books and stories of the series.
Which is why a lot of people are like, we have no issue with the changes that they've been making in this season.
And very similarly to Harry Potter, not to the same degree, because I've said this 5 times, so for the 6th time, Percy Jackson doesn't do what Harry Potter does and move from children's entertainment to young adult entertainment. Percy Jackson stays children's entertainment throughout everything. But starting with, the name of the 3rd book. Help me out.
Titan's Curse.
Thank you. Starting from Titan's Curse, that's when shit starts getting dark.
And I don't know if you've heard, but Walker has said that Titan's Curse, out of the 3 seasons they've done so far, is the most true to book season.
Nice. But yeah, it's the darkest one. But anyway, I say all that to say this. The acting, some of the writing, some of the humor doesn't hit as well, but this is an actual television show from front to back, arc-wise. This is a lot of the episodes are also longer. I loved seeing the growing of the show. It looks like everything is bigger. They gave it more money, they gave it more production, they gave it more time, they gave it more story. I like seeing the growth in an overall growing television show over the cable episode of the week of the first season, which both I loved. So while technically there are more flaws, as an overall television show, I think this season is better in that way, whereas season 1 has less flaws for what it is, but it's more of your Saturday morning live action television show. I say all that. Does that make sense?
No, it does. Listen, I've been a Walker fan since the Adam Project, and I remember watching that and being like, yo, this kid has a future. And granted, I didn't know they were having him wear contacts and that have to wear eye color changing contacts at such a young age. and just enjoy the process of being a younger Ryan Reynolds and capturing what that man is. Fucking great. He's only capped. Granted, in interviews, he's like, I didn't know Percy Beth was a thing until I realized they kissed, and I'm like, and to me, that just makes him the perfect Percy because he's so fucking oblivious. But like I'm like, homie, because I don't know if you watched his interviews throughout the thing, but he's like, oh no, I'm just acting, and this isn't me showing like romantic feeling, me acting out romantic feelings towards Beth because I'm like, homie, haven't you talked about how you read the books? And he's been openly campaigning to do the what's the sequel series with the Heroes of Olympus. He's been openly campaigning about doing Heroes of Olympus, and to which he talked about. I know they're talking about just doing the main 5 and do the last 3, but it's like I'd rather we do the main 5 and then just do Heroes of Olympus. And if we stop there, I'm happy. He's like, because I feel like you can't do 6, 7, and 8 without doing Heroes of Olympus. I'm like, I kind of agree with you, but I kind of think you can do it without doing Heroes of Olympus. You just cut out.
You can do anything, but I've said multiple times, Percy Jackson is the perfect series to do an actual cinematic television or movie universe because there's so much shit you can do and so much like lore. So I see what he means. I know what he means.
Yes, but I'm loving this season. It's one of the few things my mom and I have a weekly like scheduled just hang out to watch it because she grew up reading those books with me, so we both love them. So every week on Wednesday, let's watch. And she's like, oh, we have one more. I'm kind of sad because now you don't have the hangout time. Like, we can still hang out, Ma. It's fine. Like, we'll find something. But I love this season. I cannot wait to get into Titan's Curse, which I know Titan's Curse is a lot of people's favorite in the series. For me,
pretty sure it's mine as well, aside from the last one because it's the last one. But yeah, I love Titan's Curse.
I was about to say I'm a big fan of Battle of the Labyrinth.
3, 4, and 5 are all great.
Yes, they just whole nother level. So I'm excited either way. But
I'm excited for y'all to see the interview we have with My Size Breakdown coming out not too long from now, if it isn't out already.
Yeah, that interview. Yeah,
it's a great interview, by the way. It's a really Dior Gajan and Daniel Dietmar, who again is killing it as Tyson. Great interview.
Real quick, check it out. We didn't touch on it. Daniel Dietmar,
sorry.
Yeah, Daniel Dietmar, who they have made Tyson. I remember a year ago we were on the.
There's no T. It's Dietmar. I was right. I just want to make sure we get this man's name right.
Daniel Dietmar, who a year or so ago, however long ago it was, when season 1 was going on, 2 years ago, because we had the 1 year break. They tried to get us. I will give them. They tried to get it to us in a year. I give them that. But a year ago, when you and I or 2 years ago, when we were on this channel talking about the first season, we spoke on how are they going to pull off Tyson. And we're like, should they hire a disabled actor? And just because we didn't even stand, or I think we did mention, or do they make him less simple? Where they decided to make him less simple, go with a normal actor, and dude, Daniel's knocked it out of the park. Just absolutely.
He discusses it in the interview on MyTimeBreakdown.com right now.
So stop it. Just talk for a minute. Damn. But yeah, he's knocked it out of the park for making the character so much less, or still simple, but like more like I'm a toddler. I'm an infant. I'm not a toddler infant simple. I'm a 5 or 6 year old simple. Just aged up the character's mindset a little bit.
Even more than that, in general, he takes care of Tyson.
Yes.
He and the writers have taken care of Tyson, made him a human Cyclops. I was going to say human being, but a human Cyclops, an actual full character, not a stereotype. Like I wouldn't even put an age on him. They just did, the writers and Daniel have done an amazing job of taking care of that character.
Yes, I have. and I have just been blown away. I'm loving this. I'm sorry to see it leave for 11 months, but how did you feel if they gave it? You know how each episode has been giving us like a preview to the next episode?
I don't watch the previews because I don't want to see them. I don't watch them. I'm like, nope. I don't want to. I know what's coming, so I don't want to see what they're doing with what's coming. I just want to be surprised about what they decide to do in that. So I don't watch them.
My mom wants to watch them each week, but I was about to say, how would you feel if they, instead of a next episode preview with the finale, they surprised us with the first teaser for season 3?
Did they? Oh, I would love that. That I would, because it's long enough. I would probably actually watch and see through what they do. So,
okay. Well, with that, folks, that is this month's episode of the Daily Prophetcast. Amaru, tell the good people where they can find you.
They can find me on Bite Size Breakdown. They will not find me in that interview. The other Nick is doing the interview with Dior and Daniel. But you can find me at Bite Size Breakdown on YouTube, bitesizebreakdown.com. If you haven't, again, don't know when this is coming out, but I also have a really great article that went out on bitesizebreakdown.com that breaks down what an original Hollywood movie is, if that's even like a thing anymore, because people keep wanting to tell me that Sinners is just From Dusk Till Dawn. And I write why they are absolutely incorrect on that.
You're absolutely right. All right. And as always, you can find me here on What Real Entertainment. I know it's been dead the last month. It was the holidays. I know I'm going to have to rebuild a ton of viewership that goes along with this business. And also catch the work I'm doing over on Blurs in the Hood. I am one of the producers on that show now. I also edit all of the shorts and everything. So check those out. They're fun. And yeah, with that, folks, be sure to check out the movie reviews I have coming out. Mercy is this week. I did see Bone Temple. Totally thought Bone Temple was coming out next week and was like, oh, I'll put off my review for a week, and did not realize it came out this past Friday. So that was good on me. But yeah, Mercy review coming out next week, and maybe a few TV reviews. Maybe once Percy Jackson's over, I'll do another Percy Jackson recap here with Rue full season review, and we'll dive into all the spoilies and all that. But to also check me out over on Bite Size Breakdown for a bigger bite. We got to do one of those. We probably should have done one for this movie this past week, but I don't think enough people had seen it yet. So, hey, it is what it is. But until then, folks, signing off, I am Matt. That is Rue, and this was another episode of the Daily Prophetcast. We'll see you next time. Peace.